group at this state that everyone helps as far as a building block? Where have you seen maybe confidence grow incrementally these last couple of games with the team?
I think we've talked so much about, we want to be defensive oriented always. And, this morning you wake up and you see you've moved up to tied in the NBA at 15th. That's the direction that we want to move. You wake up and you see you lead the NBA in passes. We want to share the ball. Those two stats, defense and offense, are part of what we're trying to grow to, And I think that you're seeing reflections of those two stats in some of our most recent games that we've either played well or played well enough to and end up with a win. I think that that's the confidence the group feels that we're getting better in the areas that we choose to.
Brett, now that Nerlens is back, how do you sort out all three?
It's the same answer that I've given for a while, and it's all I know is you reward competitors. You are realistic in matchups. You understand human beings and human nature, and you take, let's move this back out, and you take all those components and you make it even a little further. Wouldn't that be awful if you lose? You take all those components and you make a decision. And as I've also said, there's no elephants in the room. We're very candid with individuals as a team. There's no hidden agendas, and so that's the messaging that has been given to our guys for a while, and it really sort of ramps up now because it's real. They're all available.
Brett, is it when you put a couple of the big guys on the floor together, whoever they may be, how apparent is it within the moment of you coaching the game whether it works, quote unquote, or it doesn't? Can you see it in the moment?
You feel defense. You feel transition defense especially. I think if our sport was just a half-court game and you could take 7-footers and just let them stay in half-court, then you wouldn't feel as vulnerable sometimes. The common response is, well, they have to guard you too. And there is a truth to that. So you weigh it all up and you identify matchups and you judge the speed of our game. Our sport is not getting slower. And we all understand that there's not less threes taken. And so if the game is fast and the game is spread out, well, you become vulnerable in transition defense in a major way sometimes. And so as you're judging it all, it's a lot easier to judge, are you just getting punished defensively? You just feel it, the speed, the stretching of the court. And that's the assessment. Like as a coach, you sit back and you feel out. I will say that I look forward to it very much. I really look forward to this. And we are at a stage where our program is one that is still very much in the experimentation phases. The ripple effects means that Dario now plays almost exclusively three. And so all over the place it's got impact. And I look forward to seeing this. I look forward to seeing it.
I'm sorry, did you look forward to seeing this when you met with us in the preseason?
I would be not telling the truth if you don't recognize the challenges of this. We all understand that. And I feel like if it wasn't so out in the open, I wouldn't be as looking forward to this, as much to looking forward to this as I am. It's all there. Like, we're going to feel it did work, it didn't work. I don't like this, we do like this. I don't feel like we're all going to think about things too much. I think it's going to be apparent if we give it enough time to make educated judgment. I think just knee-jerk reaction will be a mistake by me and us, and we're going to see it play out. And I feel like on that level, I am genuinely excited, even with all the human things that follow with that comment.
In that regard, do you think the ripple effects, as you said, will become apparent too with respect to the other guys on the floor? Like, hey, we see more from, let's say, Nick, when this is happening and we have this alignment. Do you think that'll kind of reveal itself?
I think so, Mike. I feel like we're going to learn a lot. I think pairings will be better established, good or bad. we could say, well, this really hasn't helped Dario. You know, Ersan has been in a good place and he's been affected. Rashawn's having a hard time even hitting the floor. You know, and so like we all get it. You know, the other night we had an injury to one of our 2 point guards and we had Nick come in and play some point. I didn't think he looked that bad. And so somewhere out there, given the reality of where we are truly at as an organization, on that level, I think it's exciting to try some of these things and learn more about our roster.
Brett, can I ask you a question though? Like when you look at it, I mean, it's like, you know, you take all the side things out of it, right? But you look at it and you see Embiid how dominant he can be. You see Noel how he can run rim to rim, be a rim protector when he's not in there. And then you see a guy like Ja who's instant offense for you. You know what I mean? They all have the other.
Yeah, I
they have
agree
their
with you, Keith.
weaknesses,
I agree with
but
you.
But you look at that and you say, hey, maybe, you know, and maybe, you know, in a twisted way, it could all work out if, you know, if they buy into it.
And I think that, and I feel like you've just hit the key phrasing. If they buy in and they let me coach them and they let me, you know, put them in positions where they truly have a chance to succeed, and we can, you know, make those game adjustments and assess it where you still are here to win games, then our bigs will be tough. They will, and we've talked freely, haven't we, Jaleel? How this is, yes, we have. And so I look forward to it, and it is, and you know, he brings something to the table, and Nerlens and Joel, and so, you know, Ersan complements those three in his own way too. So I'm excited about it, and we're gonna like give it a chance to make better judgments, I think, as the next you know, period of time unfolds.
What do you see from the pairings, and maybe similar to what you just said, but what do you see from the pairings that you think maybe pairing bigs this season will be more effective and easier to do than last year when it was pairing Nerlens and Jaleel, which was a struggle?
Right. I still think that the Nerlens and Jaleel will be a work in progress. I think that the pairings of, you know, Nerlens and Ersan or Nerlens and Joel, because of his ability to stretch the floor, might be more palatable initially. And so there are pairings that you think have a better chance of working given their skill package. And that's on my mind. I feel like when you go back to, if we do want to grow our program, and we do defensively, and you say, well, you know, you better be a good rim protecting team, that in Joel Embiid and Nerlens Noel, that's a pretty good place to start. All those things I feel like are going to take more shape the more time we have to see it and play it. It's a very much unfair to expect, you know, a real good continuity of flow right off the bat, but I feel like it's just something we should all be, as an organization, as a city, excited to see how this thing goes.